Hi everyone, welcome back to the MZ Mechanic channel. Today, we're diving into the wild world of clueless and dangerous drivers. Buckle up as we unravel the chaos on the road. Let's get started. The truck hit the brakes and the cargo behind it, caught in the momentum, slid right toward the cabin. Fortunately, the brakes were light enough that the cargo only gave the driver a little friendly reminder, rather than a full-on smack. That car suddenly took a huge punch from a runaway truck tire, like it was in the wrong place at the wrong time, just waiting for a knockout. This tire got even more dangerous when it charged head-on at an oncoming car, like it had a personal vendetta to settle. That sunk tire on the truck seems like an unexpected trap set by the construction site. Using a tow rope for rescue. Like, this is a big no-no, especially in the city where traffic's as packed as a rush hour subway. It's a recipe for disaster, not a smooth recovery. The pickup truck made it through multiple lanes by pure luck, but when it reached the last lane, it had to pay the price for its risky decisions. As the vehicle passed through the intersection, its excessive height snagged the power lines, creating a dangerous situation for pedestrians. This car looks like it's trying to shed its skin and transform into an airplane, probably thinking it could fly. Who's responsible here? The three-wheeler making a U-turn, colliding with a car going straight. It seems like the roadside tent caught the SUV's attention with the force of a bull charging. A sudden disaster. The cargo on the truck slammed into the height limit pole, and in the chaos, the passing electric vehicle driver got sent flying to the ground. The driver forgot to pull the handbrake after parking, and the car started rolling away. The guy in the taxi next to it noticed something odd and, suspecting no one was in the car, jumped out to stop it with nothing but his bare hands. Talk about playing superhero for the day. The SUV driver, he was feeling drowsy from the warm air blowing into the car. Just as he was nodding off, the vehicle slammed into a traffic cone. Thankfully, he had his seatbelt on, and no one was hurt. The brown car at the back will have to take full responsibility for this one. Looks like they were too eager to join the chaos, and now they've got the honor of owning it. A truck tire came loose and flew into a 4S dealership, crashing into two cars. This highlights the importance of regular vehicle maintenance. The truck slid out of the tunnel and braked suddenly, causing its cargo to spill out. Fortunately, no one was harmed in the incident. Looking at the truck's reaction, it seems the driver may have been distracted while driving. This highlights the importance of staying focused on the road. The SUV driver, under the influence of alcohol, narrowly avoided a deadly collision with the truck, just half a meter away from disaster. As a result, he faces a suspension of his license. The sedan in front missed its exit, but stubbornly tried to change lanes in a dangerous situation. This kind of decision can lead to serious incidents. The sedan driver mixed up the gas pedal with the brake, and before anyone knew it, it reversed straight into the little stream. But that the nearby locals didn't hesitate for a second. Like heroes in a movie, they dove right in, opened the door, and successfully rescued the panicked driver. Talk about a splashy rescue. This truck accidentally drove right into a sinkhole that's been slowly eroding under the road for ages. Guess it was just waiting for the perfect bend. Wow, watching that crane operator flip the SUV back upright was like watching a puppeteer work their magic. Every move so smooth, you'd think the SUV was a marionette on strings. The sedan swerved into the left lane out of nowhere, forcing the one behind it to make a quick swerve to avoid a crash. It looks like the truck driver forgot to lower the crane, probably thinking it was a new feature for extra headroom. The driver of that semi missed the exit, but still tried to make a turn, as if they were driving a little sedan. Guess they forgot they were hauling a trailer, and not just squeezing through a parking spot. Failing to keep a safe distance and not slowing down, the big truck ended up rear-ending two cars waiting at the red light. Looks like someone forgot they weren't driving a bumper car. A collision between a car and a minibus. And wouldn't you know it, the bus stop sign got hit too. The minibus took quite the beating. A high-speed chain collision. All because the learner driver didn't pay attention to maintaining distance or speed. Looks like they thought it was a race, not a driving lesson. The truck driver had a momentary lapse in concentration and ended up bumping into the guardrail. The cause of this chaos? The truck's engine oil tank busted open in the back. Looks like it went from hauling goods to spilling them all over the place. These two stubborn cars decided to race through the yellow light at the intersection, both flooring it right into airbag territory. The big truck stopped just in time, and the red SUV managed to squeeze through unscathed. Looks like the SUV had a lucky escape. Luckily, the truck driver only suffered minor injuries. Waving a truck like that? Definitely a recipe for disaster. It's like trying to flag down a train with a handkerchief. Pretty risky, and not the smartest move if you value your safety. The truck running the red light definitely deserves to have its license seized. Guess it thought the traffic signals were just a suggestion, not a rule. On November 5th, a road collapse occurred in the Shuying district between Xingye and Guizhou streets, creating a large hole that looked like a black hole, with sand continuing to flow downward. A driver, feeling drowsy, collided with a pickup truck ahead. Fatigue can impair reaction times and decision-making. An SUV overturned on the highway, but luckily, the person inside was wearing their seatbelt and only sustained minor injuries. This serves as a reminder of how vital seatbelts are in ensuring safety during incident brace. It seems like the red truck's brakes went on strike for the day, probably tired of doing all the work. A gentle hello from the trailer to the truck mirror. Looks like the two vehicles were just trying to catch up for a quick chat, but it got a little too close for comfort. It may look flat, but in reality, this stretch of road is quite the uphill battle. The excavator gave it its best shot to pull through, but it just couldn't quite conquer the slope. If the car hadn't skid on the tires, that pile of bottles would have been perfectly fine. As the BMW was turning around, a sedan going straight crashed into it, and white smoke started pouring out immediately. The passengers quickly evacuated, only to realize the smoke was just the tires skidding against the road, not the fiery disaster they feared. Turns out, everyone was just breathing a sigh of relief after the real smoke cleared. Despite having a small fire extinguisher, the SUV couldn't be saved from the fierce flames. That truck was speeding like it had a hot date waiting at home. So the grain harvester didn't even get to clock in before the transport truck handed it a one-way ticket to the repair shop. Half of the yellow truck's cabin was completely torn off. Looks like it took the phrase, "loose parts," to a whole new level. The wheel loader was tilted at a 30-degree angle, with its bucket pointing straight to the sky, as if it were praying to someone up above for a rescue from this awkward position. This wheel loader's been stuck in that position for a while now, patiently waiting for a rescue situation to unfold. Looks like it's hoping for a miracle, or maybe just a really strong tow rope. The excavator, dangerously teetering on the edge of tipping over, was on the verge of a major accident at the construction site. Seeing the imminent risk, two Two nearby excavators immediately stopped their work and rushed over to stabilize the machine. Their quick thinking and teamwork were crucial in preventing a potentially costly disaster. This moment truly underscores the power of cooperation in high-pressure situations. In environments like construction sites, where heavy machinery and lives are at stake, collaboration is not just important, it's often a life-saving necessity. Part of the car that had been oxidized and decayed was skillfully repaired by a mechanic. cut a piece of sheet metal to fit, welded it in place, and meticulously finished the job, making it look as though nothing had ever happened. This highlights the importance of skill and attention to detail in restoring vehicles, proving that with the right tools and expertise, even the most damaged parts can be brought back to life. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you don't forget to like, and if you subscribe to my channel, we will definitely appreciate it. See you next time.